Okay, so this is the schedule for this week, just kind of highlighting the key things. Big part is that we're out on Thursday and on Friday this week for two different field trips. The one on Thursday is the full day, and the one on Friday is just half the day. It's just in the morning, and it's only going to happen as long as the weather is okay. So just to give you a bit of information on that. And the rest just kind of goes through my schedule and stuff for the week, as well as where the students will be. I have a kindergarten orientation after school on Tuesday, but that doesn't affect the students. And then the rest, the other key part is that on Wednesday we do have 4 different teachers coming to observe in the morning. So there'll be some questions, I'm sure, for the students who like to share their learning with the teachers. Okay, and this looks at our literacy plans for the week. Things kind of change on Thursday and Friday a bit. On Monday, we're going to kind of continue with where we were at the end of the day on Friday, which is looking at writing the song and experimenting a bit with rhythm and beat. And my provocation for that morning is going to kind of allow them to do a little bit of experimenting with that. And then we'll have a song and play action committee, and there might be also a group of students that would like to rework the plans for the worm action committee, because we don't have the plants anymore, so that will change things a bit. We're going to actually move our Wiggly Wednesdays to Wiggly Almost Wednesdays and move it up to Tuesday this week, because we have something very special coming this week, hopefully, and the students are going to need to start investigating a bit about owls. They've showed some interest in the birds. They certainly take an interest in things that they can touch and manipulate that have to do with animals. And what's arriving will certainly allow them to do so. So I have collected some resources and stuff, and that will be something that they'll be able to start exploring on Wednesday. And we'll really focus in on gathering that information and sharing the info and what we've learned in our thinking in different ways. So the students can kind of hone in on that and how they might be able to share what they've learned. And we can put some of that together and let them share it with the class as well. And then Thursday, because of our trip to Lee Academy, we won't have a chance for a regular literacy block. Friday we will, but it'll be a shorter block at the end of the day, and it will be giving them an opportunity to share their learning from the trip to the community garden. So they'll be able to kind of go back and share what they've done and pick a form of their choice in order to do so, and it can connect a little bit with the media piece as well. Okay, and for our math this week, that also changes around a little bit. Monday, we're supposed to have the basketball game. Now, it is currently scheduled for 2 periods. I've emailed the teacher in charge, and we're looking at just going down for the 1 period and playing a little bit with some math games, kind of to hone in on some facts. So I really want them to work a little bit with addition, a little bit with subtraction, and so this will be a way for them to kind of play around with that, as well as having a little bit of fun with it too, by allowing them to focus a bit on the facts and the thinking behind them. On Tuesday, we're actually going to get students to, I'd like to play around with some coding. I read a blog post by Enzo Ciardelli, who is a teacher in our board, and his blog post and the comments back and forth made me think that maybe this would be a good time to play around with it and see even the links to some of the math connections for the grade 1s and what could be possible. So what I thought is, because we'll be missing our Math Talk Mondays on Monday, we could do a Talking Tuesday and look at one of the Scratch videos. I'm going to pull one out so that they might be able to do, and have them kind of watch that and reflect on some of the math that is evident in that coding, so that as they're going to do coding, they can really kind of narrow in on some of those math concepts and what they create, and then giving them a chance to experiment with both Scratch on the computer as well as with Scratch Junior, and focus on some things like directional language, number recognition, higher and lower values, as well as geometry, and giving them a chance to do it. At this point, Scratch Junior is something that all of my students have used with some degree of success. So maybe trying to incorporate that math piece with it would be good, and then I can kind of sit with a small group as well, and the students can also support each other. And then on Wednesday, because as I said, addition, subtraction is also something I'd like to work on, which is something we had talked about on Monday. I have a math problem because I cannot seem to get somebody who will take the toys that we have together, the last of them. So I thought that maybe each of the students could bring one other one home. There could be a creation piece for it, which also ties into science and into some of our geometry piece, but also looking at how many are there and how many are left when we take them away, and making some guesses that are too high and too low, so they really start to kind of understand where the numbers go together. And that will also help us out in some preparation for a math problem that we're going to be doing at the beginning of the following week with our instructional coach. So kind of build some of that schema for that. And then on Thursday and Friday, there will not be an explicit math period because of our field trips, but math will be incorporated into our other learning for the day. And the shared reading text that we do this week will align with some of the new concepts that we're learning. So there may be some that align with some of the OWL piece that we're doing, as well as finishing off as the students write the song. If we're going to be singing it, then we'll use that song or that play as our shared reading text.